and welcome to part 2 of the August update from the Tau team. You're here with me, Fola, and without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Karim for his overview of the development team's progress this month.
All right, thank you, Fola, and welcome everybody to the August update for the development team. In August, several team members took some well-deserved personal time off, but nonetheless, we've managed to have several important milestones, especially on the TML side. But first, on the Agoras Live side, Andre was working mainly on the reviewing system for user and teacher reviews. So he got that working, and we're in the process of testing that. He always continues to fix some small issues that come here and there about the platform in general. And he also installed another video conferencing server, so we can use that for a dedicated team server for testing and these calls. Juan continued his work on first order logic together with Umar, and but most importantly, he's close to wrapping up a first iteration of the second order logic solution. So we're all looking forward to seeing that next week. He's going to demo it internally. Umar continued his great work on the conversion to a universe of size 2, and he included handling of inequalities, and he's making improvements to the arithmetic. Also, he continues to improve the type system with nested type environments. That's a major change as well. Tomash continued his work on the IDE, and especially the syntax highlighting in Visual Studio Code and the Vim editor. And he also, most importantly, also helped Umar testing the conversion to binary size universe. And Maurici, as usual, has delivered some great features where he, most importantly, he actually fixed some old code that I had written a long time ago for the proof of extraction. I cannot overestimate the importance of that feature, but he also continued working on the safety checking and performance improvements and G3 containment as well. So that's it for the overview. I'll hand over to every team member to tell you more about what they've done.
Excellent, awesome. All right, I'll pass it over to Professor Benzmuller for his review of the month.
Okay, yeah, so this month in the academic discussions, we were looking at the proposal by OHAD on a solution for our language and knowledge representation framework, and assessed it again with some concrete examples and compared it with an alternative solution we are currently also looking at. And by the comparison, I think we in particular will make further progress on the pros and cons of both approaches and how far expressivity reaches here. So this is an interesting stage of development, and I think by this mixture of theory development or theoretical ideas and looking at the same time at concrete examples, this is actually an enabler for hopefully then a final pick in this end. On the side of theorem proving development or reasoning system development, I've been looking this month a lot into equational reasoning, and I improved my program a lot, the system I developed. I mentioned it in the meetings before. It's a theorem proving system and a model finding, respectively counter model finding system that's also capable of reasoning modulo varying domain cardinalities. This makes it relatively complicated in combination with equational reasoning to get these things right. So I'm at the moment still in a final debugging phase, setting up kind of examples and then checking whether they run. But already by comparing, for instance, also my developments with the alternative developments by others in the project, we also can exchange very useful insights about not only how to debug the systems, but also debugging them on a concrete basis. And this is very fruitful, I think. has been very fruitful, for instance, also in today's meeting and already last week when we presented the work here. But yeah, I guess I will make the code very soon publicly available that I've produced on, and then also can offer a more, let's say, better prepared demo if people are interested, then very soon on that. I think that are the main points to report here for this month. I have been also a bit slowed down by a lot of conference organization work as the co-chair of a major conference, but I leave these things aside here.
Thank you very much, Professor Benzmuller. Now I'll pass it over to Maurici for his update this month.
So this month, I identified and fixed bugs in some of the transformations in the TML engine. And yes, these were kind of discovered through extensive testing. These were kind of corner cases which we hadn't run into yet. I also worked on improving the support, in improving the safety checking mechanism in TML. And I did this with a particular focus on the uniqueness quantifiers. So I was kind of making sure that the uniqueness quantifiers pass through the safety check without any complaints. So yes, I believe that's all for this month. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Maurici, for your update this month. I'll pass it over to Juan for his update this month.
Thank you, Fola, and hi, everybody. So this month, as Karim already put into advance, we are reaching a better situation with the second order logic feature, where we are, as we described this strategy a couple of months ago, where we are handling dual sets of constraints for each second order variable. So with that in mind, we are being able to create an algebraic structure that represents all of these constraints for the second order variables, and we are also starting to quantify over this structure in order to get the models which are fulfilling or satisfying the second order formulas that we are currently handling. This mechanism is, of course, very related with OHAD's Boolean algebraic developments and exposition that he have been doing for the team for many months before. Also is borrowing idea from Professor Benzmuller expositions about the relevance of unification, and in particular the relevance of having a solid first order logic feature in order to get into second order logic. So that's why I also put some further effort into improving the test suite for first order logic, clearing some issues that were still there. I would say the general approach that we are following is to dig deeper into our problems to figure out how we can integrate these capabilities into the overall TML framework, into the TML language. And once we confirm that our strategy is somehow feasible in our environment, of course, we need to gain confidence on the implementation by expanding the test suite and clearing any remaining issue or bug that we do not clear from scratch, or we don't design from scratch. That's how first order logic feature happened to be. We just started with a couple of very basic tests, which we were able to handle with our primitive solvers. And for second order logic, that's more or less the same strategy. We're starting with a few number of second order formulas that we are handling right now in proper way. and we expect to enlarge or grow the capabilities of this solver in the coming future to get a fully functional solution. And just to wrap up, that of course this development is, at least from my understanding, it will be eventually very relevant for the Tau system. So that's why we have been putting so much energy on this. So that's looking forward to demo this first for the internally for the team during this month, and eventually do a demo as we did for the community, as we did for first order logic before. And I also have been doing some work on our blockchain backend, expanding our wallet capabilities and reviewing some stuff related to our blockchain backend. So that was also some of my focus during the month. So keeping the peace from this side.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Juan. Huge update there. We look forward to that second order logic implementation. I will now pass it over to Andre for his update this month.
Good day, everyone. Summer has gone, but a very productive autumn is waiting ahead of us. Finally, better late than never, we've come to the very edge of giving away our Agoras Live platform to external testing, as I've covered all basic parts of the platform with necessary improvements and fixed all visible issues we had on the platform. So this August, I remade the review system of Agoras Live. Now the review system is forcing you to review your past experiences, no matter where on the platform you browse, or you may close the platform and later come back and it will ask you. Also, this review system stores all reviews in a separate database, and it asks you for a review based on your permissions. For example, a teacher can't review his own group call, but a student can. A teacher can review his experience with a student, and students can review teacher and can review a group call they had, for example. Next necessary improvement was the ability to end the call outside the session. For example, you close your video conferencing with the teacher, or teacher closes the video conferencing with you, and you now can end this conference call from within Agoras Live platform with this button. Next small improvement is join a group call, jump into a group call right from the home page of Agoras Live, if it's currently running like this. If you are a teacher, then I made sure that all necessary controls over your calls, over your appointments located in one place, and now you make your calls with students from your account sessions here. And last thing I did, I created a separate video conferencing platform especially for beta testing. So now we have a platform for active development and a platform for beta testing. So more or less everything is ready for testing finally. That's it for now. Looking forward to test the platform with external hands and then to give it away to you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you very much, Andre. Brilliant update there. I will now pass it on to Tomash for his update this month.
Hello, everyone. In August, I've been working on making TML's REPL work in a browser and making the REPL work as a backend for the editor, which would allow running TML programs by steps. This is to make debugging of TML programs a little bit easier. I've been working on fixing bugs of the TML online editor. I've updated depending Node.js libraries and fixed new issues with building the web application. I've also fixed build issues of a JavaScript version of the latest TML. And I've also spent some time on testing new features like Bit Universe. So that's all from me this month.
All right, thank you, Tomash, for your update there. I'll now pass it on to Umar for his update this month.
Hi, team. Glad to see you all. So this month, I've been working on improving the types checking and type inference in a way that now we can have types of different nested programs connected. So if you search for a type in the nested program, the search will try to find in the parent scopes as well. And similarly, if you search a type in the parent scope, it will go towards the nested scope as per the desired bit sizes or the number of args. So why this is important? Because then this allows you to be able to turn your facts that are derived from the BDD back to the original program while keeping these types available during the conversion. Other than that, I've been looking into improving some of the contextual information that is available for the arithmetic terms when we are trying to determine the number of bits for a number. That doesn't have a type, but we derive a type based on the context of the vars where it's surrounded by. So there was a bug, we improved on that. And then there were several tests and fixes that were made. And so the overall workflow of converting the program to the bit universe and then converting it down to the at the raw level, then to the term level, and then down to the PDDs, and then reconstructing the facts from the terms and from the BDD back to the original program. That workflow is complete, except that there is some handling that is related to arithmetic terms and first order logic. So they are in pipeline. I'll be working with other devs to ensure that the expectation is met there. So in future, this was one way of handling the bit universe transformation. A more cleaner, a more faster and optimized way could be to not to express this transformation at the raw level, but instead just add this information within the tables and within the signature of the tables directly. So that is still a concept, but I will vet that with the lead developers and the peer developers. Yep. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Umar, for your update this month. And now we'll pass it over to Ohad for his update this month.
So the last time I spoke about a logic which offers many new stuff and solves a lot of problems at the scope of tau. And from there, we continue into fronts. First, it is not one logic. It can take large families of languages and extend them to support them self-referential methodological features. So we need to choose which logics to extend, and that's on the theoretical front and ongoing discussion with the academic panel. And in the practical front, I started writing the code implementing this language. It is much more complex than TML, both in how it, both from the programmer point of view and also from the backend point of view. Just writing a parser for that language is so terrible. So instead, I just wrote a generic parser for any grammar, and it's a kind of parser called early parser. And the parser already works, at least the recognizer part works. Now I just need to finish the part of building the parse trees. And that's an advancement by its own, because now we can replace TML's parser with this parser, which will be much faster and much easier to maintain. And that's all. Looking forward to finish this. Oh yes, one thing I forgot to say is that that logic that I spoke about last time is just a logic, but Tau is about programs. So how do we connect it to programs? Well, we decided to follow the common practices from the world of functional programming languages. So it will be a functional programming language with the major twist that functions, including higher order functions, are restricted to be what is called only Boolean functions. There are many people understand the term Boolean functions differently. So here I mean a function that takes an element from Boolean algebra or several elements and return element from any Boolean algebra by means of the Boolean algebraic operations. So it is a much broader definition than the one which is commonly used, that speaks only about two values, 0, 0, and 1. So we are now working on turning this logic into such a functional programming language, and by that we will be able to speak and reason about programs. And that's all.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Ahad. And that's it from us for the August update. You'll see us on Telegram, and you can always message us anytime. And yeah, we look forward to your review of the team's dev updates this month, and obviously of the logo in the earlier update this month. All right, we'll see you, and talk to you soon. Thank you.